would Jesus what would I do? What would Jesus what would I do?
Harris then makes it known what he would do to Christians, and did it.
I would shoot you in the head. I would shoot you in the head.
They shot Rachel Scott in the leg and asked, "Do you believe in God?" She said yes. They retorted, "Then go be with him now," and shot her in the head. Rachel's stepfather pointed out that they targeted his daughter specifically for her faith in Jesus Christ.
The evidence is just very compelling to us that they knew who she was, they knew what she stood for, they knew she stood for Jesus, and they took care of it that way.
Speaking of a time just prior to his return, Jesus foretold, "They will deliver you to tribulation and will kill you, and you will be hated by all nations on account of my name." The book of Revelation confirms that we are headed toward a radical persecution of believers, as the kingdom of Antichrist will kill innumerable numbers of people who hold to the testimony of Jesus. The book of Revelation states of the Antichrist that it was given to him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and also that as many as do not worship the beast, to be killed.
Welcome back to Truth Seekers. You know, Jay, it hit me, in Hollywood, just as in academia, they're not going to hire people and promote them up if they don't believe in evolution. Same thing in Hollywood. If you're an open Christian, chances are you're not going to get too far ahead, because the people that have gotten into power over the years, through Satan's manipulations overall, just as in academia, through the Humanist Manifesto and things like that, don't want weirdos around. And yeah, hey, we don't want people who are deviant around. I mean, look at that guy with that white robe on, that crazy cross, and and that other guy had his eyes rolled back on the streets, with the black outfit. I mean, I'd be wondering about him too. But that's not the type of Christians that were following Jesus in the early church, and it's not the type of Christians we're supposed to be today. So we got, is it Don now? And we lost, okay, Don, you're on the line. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. What would you like to share with us?
I just want to know if, are you guys really good guys?
There's only one who's good, and that's our Father in heaven. We are saved sinners, Don.
Don, who's Jesus to you?
God always helps us out.
Yes, he does. Are you a good guy, Don?
Yes, I do.
So you try and follow Jesus, you try and be good.
Yeah, God always helps everybody out.
Yeah, he does.
Thank you, Don, for that encouragement.
And keep following Jesus. Thanks for calling.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care, Don.
Yeah, and so, in academia, as we were saying before, as well as in Hollywood, it's not cool, I mean, I always thought Christians were weird before I became a Christian. I mean, how could you believe a ridiculous thing like that someone rose from the dead? Well, where is he if he rose from the dead? But I hadn't studied prophecies. I hadn't studied the evidence that convinced another Jew to become a Christian. He was the head of the law department in Harvard, considered the greatest arguing trial defense evidence based on evidence lawyer in the world at the time, Simon Greenleaf, and a student of his said, "So you mentioned something about Jesus, you don't accept him or anything. Have you really examined the evidence about Jesus?" And he said, "No, I haven't really," and he thought about it and he said, "Well, I haven't examined the evidence, and I'm always talking in class about evidence for law cases. Look at the evidence." So he decided to study the evidence on Jesus being put to death and resurrecting from the dead, and became a believer, saying there's no way all of the historical facts that came to be could have happened if it hadn't been true. And so that, things like that have happened to us as well, different ways. God has his own way of reaching all of us.
Yeah, and it really boils down to just the simple question, are you really who you say you are? I kind of want to know. And it's out of the heart seek with that heart, Mike. Ask that question from your heart. As was it Maggie? I believe if she just, it sounds like she's asking from her heart. And
Well, she says she believes, but she's not quite sure why.
right, just continue with that heart seeking. Who are you? I want to know who you are. And when you ask that question truly from your heart, He is faithful and just
Well,
to
I think
reveal Himself.
he may have shown part of himself to her already through whatever, but she needs to get grounded on why she believes so that she can mentally understand it, because she's going to be challenged in the days ahead, probably.
God's going to give you that mental aptitude to understand who He is.
Study to show yourself approved unto God. And, you know, if you don't understand why you believe, if it were possible, even the elect might be deceived. So, I encourage everybody to be solid and also to be able to share with others why you believe. And so it doesn't hurt to take a look at the reasons God gave, which He said, if you're God, show it by telling the future.
Yeah, and again, in seeking, Mike, it doesn't matter what direction you go, whether it's archaeology or through the Dead Sea Scrolls, just through seeking the fulfilled prophecies. It doesn't matter which direction you go, whether it's trying to disprove evolution. God is so faithful, Mike, to show you through whichever avenue you really want to seek Him out.
Yeah, but the real great anchor is God says, if you're God, show it by telling the future. Those things are great, but only God can tell the future. And I agree. In any direction that you seek, God will start to give you answers, which all leads to Jesus.
And if you truly believe and embrace evolution, then get some evidence to back up that belief.
Yeah, we asked early in the program. Keating will take your call. We've only got 4 minutes left or so, or 2 minutes left. But if anybody has the answer to that question we posed at the beginning of the program about how you could dupe a whole people about a holiday Passover in the Exodus, let us know. Anyhow, Keating, what would you like to share in a minute?
Quick comment here is, okay, there's kind of like this doom and gloom thing of the thing we just saw in the persecution of Christians and whatnot. And now I'm kind of hearing there's also kind of a flip side, like Charles Stanley is a Baptist.
Yeah, we know who he is.
Yeah, and solid preacher, whatever, and saying,
He's a good
hey,
teacher.
don't, what's that?
He's a good teacher.
Yeah, and it's saying that what's coming up is not to be like dreaded, but
you got 1 minute, Keating.
that things are actually getting better for Christians instead of worse. And then also the 2012 thing where the Earth goes, or the Sun goes to the center of the universe.
Well, that's not in the Bible, Keating. That's coming from Mayan religion or Peruvian or whatever.
But no, astronomy, what have you, will say, you know.
Yeah, whatever. But what's the point? Hey, we're going to go off the air and very shortly. What's the point?
So I'm just asking about these two scenarios. Is it getting better
doom
for
and
Christians
gloom,
or worse?
Have you read Revelations?
Yes.
Does it look real good to you in the end?
It depends at what point in time.
Hey, just think about this. We're going off the air, but Jesus said, if it were possible, even the elect were going to be deceived. He said, talking about the end days, they asked him, when you come back again, what's it going to be like? He said, you know, he makes it real clear. He asked, is there going to be faith on earth? He said, there's going to be many coming in my name saying I am Christ. Oprah Winfrey and all those saying that Christ consciousnesses. That's all happening today. That's not a good thing. It's not all roses, you know.
But that's not our world either.
That is our world.
No, it's not our Christian
Good night,
world.
everyone.
Okay,
See you next week, Keating.
Hey, we're not going to be live next week, folks, but we'll be back in 2 weeks.
3
3
weeks.
weeks.